Let's bring in Kevin Green, Senior Markets Correspondent for the Schwab Network, to discuss our under 30 subject. KG, I think this is the second time in a row that we might have talked Oklo with you, but it's on the move today and it's going in a different direction than what we've recently seen. Give us kind of the lowdown here on how what we found out today, maybe from this DeepSeek story, has these ripple effects that it's having.
Yeah, obviously we're seeing an aggressive sell-off when it comes to not only the semiconductor names, but also when you're looking at these power or these utility companies, especially when you're looking at Constellation Energy or Oklo, both down over 25% today, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Oklo's down about almost 30% here. Obviously, there's been a lot of enthusiasm when it comes to these stocks, and you could also say maybe the run-up over the last 7 to 8 trading sessions was fairly aggressive to the upside too, especially if you're looking at a name like Oklo or Constellation Energy. And you're seeing a pullback right now. I think the fear is that the demand or the need for data center infrastructure might be hindered because of the deep. What is the name? It's deep. I always want to say deep strike, but because of that new LLM that is coming out from China here, DeepSeek. I'm sorry. For the new LLM that's coming out of China here. So potentially the demand for data center infrastructure might be a little bit less than what is expected. That could also have then a negative reaction when it comes to power demand. And that's why we're seeing these companies move to the downside. What I will say though, Alex, some of these were getting actually pretty stretched. Like a Constellation Energy was trading at almost a 60 multiple for a utility company. That's very expensive. The traditional forward multiple for a utility is sitting around, low 13s to the upper end of around 22. So this is why we are seeing the sell-off. But if you look at some of the traditional names like a Duke Energy or NextEra, they saw a little bit of a sell-off to start off the day, but they are kind of getting a little bit more strength as yields are kind of going down. So the AI focus or AI-centric power names out there definitely getting hit, just like some of the other companies around the AI realm. But when you're looking at the traditional utility companies, they're actually faring pretty well today.
Okay, and I like that upside, because I'm refusing to act like the world is falling apart because of one company that's emerging from China. I'm just refusing to, Kevin. So I appreciate that upside. I think that's good context. And also, we talk so often about the ways in which the grid, as far as energy is concerned, is going to have to be restructured, if not completely rethought of, because of the mass demand for AI. So I know the argument is now this company can do it cheaper and more efficiently, but if there's still this massive need to upheaval our U.S. power grid, I mean, why does that change because of one company?
Yeah, that's actually a really good question, too. And once again, this might be a little bit of an overreaction, because the other side of the coin is, if they're able to produce something that's going to be a lot more efficient and a lot cheaper to implement here, does that also give opportunities for some smaller mid-sized companies to really start to train on their own models? So do we actually expand the pool of demand out there? I think that's a big question. Does the grid still need to kind of be adjusted? I think that the answer is yes there, but it's probably not going to be right now in the minds of investors. It's not just it's not as sexy of a trade as it was beforehand. But rest assured, utilities are definitely going into a secular trend here. And then some of these companies may not actually tie directly to the power grid specifically. They might also have ancillary type of projects next to these major data centers as well. So that's something to just kind of keep in mind. Once again, I think you're just seeing froth being taken out of the market, a little bit of the fundamentals kind of creeping back into the space. And as this news item evolves, I think you'll continue to see a lot of volatility across the board when it comes to the AI space. I don't think that we're done talking about this. Let's just say it like that.
Yeah, the good old deflationary shock to start the week here, KG. A quick reminder that sometimes inflation quells some volatility. You got deflationary shocks like this. It's going to be very, very interesting 2025. But appreciate it as always. Kevin Green, Senior Markets Correspondent for the Schwab Network.